Joining us now, Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA founder. I'll ask the question to you, Charlie, because this is your turf. What are they doing?
Well, look, their idea of diversity is just racial and ethnic diversity. But it forgets the most important type of diversity, which is ideological diversity. These 100 people, they're supposedly trying to make University of Michigan's system more diverse and more tolerant to minorities. And I always say, well, what about the ideological minority in higher education?
Sure.
Which is us conservatives. But it's a complete and total waste of money.
Are these people organizing, like, safe spaces?
All of it. I mean, they're in charge of trying to keep diversity quotas in place. They're not supposed to have quotas, but we all know they actually do. UC Berkeley kind of pioneered this whole idea of having full-time diversity staffers. This is a stunning amount. I mean, 100 full-time people.
100.
Think about that. With an annual cost $8.4 million, not to mention University of Michigan has a multi-billion-dollar endowment. They are raising tuition every single year, and administrative salaries are going up. The president's salary is going up, and it's subsidized by the taxpayers in Michigan, and they have a huge out-of-state population. And so as tuition keeps going up and the value of an education goes down, we have to ask the question, wait a second, are we funding our students' education, our kids' future? Are we funding these social justice experiments?
That's what you're doing.
And this kind of cultural Marxist atmosphere that is trying to make America away from our founding ideas and principles.
If you've got 100 people doing this...
Think about that, 100 people.
Full-time people doing this. They've got to be looking at every course that's offered. They've got to be looking at whether you've got trigger warnings in those courses. You've got to look at the ethnic and racial makeup of all classes. It's like they're a bunch of sensors sitting on top of everybody.
That's correct.
Organizing it towards what they view as social justice.
That's right. Well, and it's very intentional. So they create this monolith that is impossible to disassemble. And this is what the left has done through all of our government bureaucracies, and now they've done it in higher education, where, of course, they're all protected by silly employment laws. And they have their fingers in everything with traps and measures. So if a reform-minded individual tried to come in and try to fix this, it becomes nearly impossible. I like to say college campuses have become a place where they want everyone to look different but think the same. Their idea of diversity is different skin color, not different thoughts. If these diversity officers were actually saying, how do we get conservative viewpoints or free market or pro-American ideas in classrooms, I would be more okay with it. But 100 people dedicated to racial and ethnic diversity, it's shocking to me.
If a staffer, a junior professor, wanted to say, look, I'm not doing trigger warnings, okay? We're going to have a free debate. I take it that the diversity people would
have a knock on their door. They have a knock on their door. Excuse me, sir, I'm a senior diversity officer here at the University of Michigan, and I have the full mandate of the Board of Regents to investigate this. Could you imagine? I mean, and what's really going on here, it's more and more difficult to get these ideas in the classroom, into the lecture hall, that might oppose the sensitivity training or the social justice or cultural Marxist mindset that they want to teach the next generation.
It's a long-term takeover, son.
Look, a revolution is brewing, though. I'm telling you this. I go to these campuses. You know this. We did 38 campus stops since January. There are young people that are thirsting and yearning for a different perspective, and we're leading
What they're thirsting for is an education which involves open and free debate.
Which is what college is supposed to be.
Yeah,
that's what college is supposed to be.
That's what it was.
It was what it was, and we've gotten away from that, and we need to change it.
Charlie Kirk, thank you very much indeed, sir.